Good afternoon, and welcome to another video on a series that we're doing for the North Dakota DOT for the DBEs in North Dakota on better practices for business. And this one is about QuickBooks. So it's about 25 slides, 10, 15 minutes. Hope you get some pointers here you can use, make your life a little easier. First one, get the right version of QuickBooks. It's about $350. It's the right one for contractors because it has the ability to track change orders, does progress billing, and estimates. So if you have just the basic QuickBooks, which I think is about $200, when you upgrade to the Contractors Edition. Pointer number 2 is correct setup. We're talking about chart of accounts and the preferences settings. First one is chart of accounts, and this is the desktop that you'll see on QuickBooks. How to navigate to it, you also can go to the toolbar at the top there for under lists for chart of accounts. Chart of accounts is a listing of all the assets, liabilities, equity, income, and expense accounts. The format of the financial reports will be determined by how you set this up, so take some thought into how you do this, because it just creates the framework. And the first thing you want to do after setting up your company's mailing address and basic information. So chart of accounts. A couple pointers here: avoid using the same title in 2 different categories. Fixed assets, you don't need a separate general ledger account for each piece of equipment. If you have 5 trucks, you don't need to list all 5. You can say trucks, and you can use items to list each one if you want to. Liabilities, decide if the debt is short-term or long-term. Lines of credits are short-term, even though it's got an ongoing balance, maybe. Generally, any debt that is due in the next 12 months is short-term. In the equity account, if you have more than 1 shareholder, suggest you put in 2 accounts for each person. 1 for the money they put in, and 2 for the money they take out. So if you're a C Corp, it doesn't apply. So a couple pointers there in chart of accounts, and a few more. I want to mention this here for contractors. You know, the cost of goods sold section is where a lot of contractors can use some pointers. So let's put them here. So if you have job labor, construction materials, subcontractors, equipment utilization, how you track the cost of your equipment, and any bonds you have to pay. Those are all cost of goods sold and not an expense. Really helpful as you look at your reports if you haven't categorized that way. And preferences, this is also this is often overlooked. This is not shown on the QuickBooks homepage. You have to go through the toolbar under Edit to get to it. So let's go there and show you a couple that we think are useful to know. There's how you get to it under Edit. You'll see drop down. And here's the list of preferences. And the first one is accounting. You want to click on Turn on Class. You want to do that one. That's very useful. You're able to sort your reports. Class might be residential or commercial, concrete or excavation, and stuff like that. You can each transaction can be assigned to that different class. Set a default to set a date or password. One of the complaints about QuickBooks is that it's easy to go back and automatically or accidentally use the wrong date. Well, if you set a password on it, it requires someone to enter a password so they can't accidentally post a transaction to last year or the year before unknowingly. So that's just one. So you see there's a list over here on the left, quite a few different preferences. We're going to go through a few of them and see the ones we think are important. The checking account. Down there, I crossed out bank feeds. It's not advisable to have your QuickBooks linked to your bank feed. It'll download transactions. It's good for your household. Not so good here. Select default accounts to use for paychecks, even if you have multiple checking accounts. So, but bank feeds, don't turn that on. Jobs and estimates. Do you create estimates? Yes, you do. You want to be able to if you don't yet. You want to learn how QuickBooks can do that. Do you do progress billing or invoicing? Even if you don't yet, you might want to, so turn that on here. Otherwise, you won't have that chance. Payments. Use undeposited funds as a default deposit to into account. I would say no here. It's confusing when you do your bank statement because it doesn't automatically show up in your checking account line. So I would say don't use that one. Payroll and employees. Now here we could do a whole day on QuickBooks and payroll. Just a couple things here. Job costing, you want it to be by earnings item. So if an employee might have 3 or 4 different activities, especially Davis-Bacon, they might have 3 or 4 activities they're doing in a pay period. You want to be able to job cost each one of those lines. So you want to, a red check there, you want to do that one. And then you can change on how you do full payroll, no payroll, on payroll. Then you'll see more preference settings for how you put the stubs, sick and vacation. We'll talk about a couple of those. So really, really powerful information here in the QuickBooks payroll. This is how you want your printing. You want your address, their employee's address on it. Vacation used if you have that. QuickBooks has got a great vacation, sick pay tracking module, some preferences here. Workers' comp, it'll also set up and track your payroll by workers' comp category, give you an idea what your premiums liabilities are. Another one's really handy is sick and vacation, as I said, and you can think about how you want to program your benefits. QuickBooks will can track that. This is the default. If you want to create a template, so when you hire new people each season, at the start of the season, you can quickly add new people if you put all the default payroll items in here. Makes it quick. So again, payroll QuickBooks is a day by itself, and that's something that we maybe can offer down the road. Sales tax, you don't want to pay, if you do sales tax, make sure you turn on, I don't want to pay sales for tax until I get paid, which is a cash basis there. So watch that one. Really a powerful 1099 if you use subcontractors often. This is a great way to get the paperwork to them easier. Compare like a W-2 for an employee, it does that for a subcontractor. Time and expense. You don't want to mark them as billable or expenses. Do you track time? You want to say yes. First day of the week is typically Sunday through Saturday, especially when you get into overtime. That's how it's calculated or how it's tracked. So preferences. Again, went through those fast, a few of them. Open up your own preferences on your system and see what it says. Make changes if you need to. Items. This is each item is mapped to a corresponding account in the general ledger. And this is the things you use that you buy or sell. It makes it consistent use of general ledger accounts. Makes it easy to train new bookkeepers if you're using items. While here a little point here, while chart of accounts listing should be concise, the items list should contain much more detail. Here you put down contract revenue, construction revenue. You want to put out, is it taxable or not? What general ledger account it's going to go to. So these are some examples of revenue items. The titles of those. And then if you turn on this box, the services used in assemblies are performed by a subcontractor partner. If you click that, then you get the option to enter the cost side. So every time you create an item, you can do the cost and the selling price. You don't have to put any cost, you can leave those at zero, but then later on, if you want to, you could add the cost and the selling price at the same time. Is there a preferred date to start? Make sure, whatever you do, make sure you have apples for apples, determine a clean cutoff. Obviously, the first of the year is a great time. First of the month, so if you need some help with that, you might want to talk to your bookkeeper, because it's pretty critical. If it lets make sure your financials look a little out of line, it's hard to get that straightened out. So, but if you can do it, the slow season's the time to do it as well. But you maybe have to hire on your accountant to review it to make sure you got it set up right. As a North Dakota DOT certified firm, you're available for our assistance with any questions at no charge. So it's funded by the DOT. It's a great program. We've been doing it about 5 years, so appreciate it. If you need some help, give us a call. Here's my contact information, my email, and my colleague Danae is up there in Bismarck, doing a great job there. So if you have questions, please let us know. So pointers and QuickBooks kind of become the standard in small business. And if you need some help, please let us know. We're here to help. Thank you for your time, and hope you learned something.